Kendrick Perkins is alongside. My favorite ad about the Stanley Cup's called No Words, and it shows a guy when they get the Stanley Cup and they try to describe it and they just can't put it into words. I think Brunson's performance, we can find the words for it. And as a guy who pours a ton into his kids, I'm happy for Rick, man.
Absolutely.
Those videos of those two in the park in the driveway when he's shooting those little guy lefty jumpers. Now he's out there, still a little dude, hanging 15 in the fourth on a 45-point night. This is big body at his finest. How do you describe what he did?
Well, tonight, first of all, kudos and shout out to the whole entire Knick organization. Mike Brown, his teammates. But, Scott, do you realize we just witnessed individual greatness? Yeah. Tonight, Jalen Brunson submitted himself as the greatest Knick ever. Tonight, Jalen Brunson submitted himself in the top 75 greatest players of all time list. When you talk about the story, when you talk about him being counted out, the scrutiny that he's been under for as being a small guard, it's been crazy.
Listen, when they missed on Donovan Mitchell and they paid him, I thought, hand up here, I thought, well, they just had a bunch of money. They had to get somebody. And it seemed like a lot of money for a guy I thought, Perk, was a number 2, which he was in Dallas. I didn't know he could be this. I didn't know.
Well, I did, Scott, because he's been a winner his entire life.
That's fair.
He's one of the greatest winners we've ever seen.
That's fair, too.
I talked to Jay Wright after Game 4, and he told me, he said, Perk, you know what made me believe in Jalen Brunson to bring him to Villanova? I went down to Chicago in the state championship game, and I watched the arena of 4,000 people, and all of them was against him. And he hanged a 50-piece plus wing dinner on them. All flats and delivered a championship. And then he won at a high level and won a championship at Villanova. On top of that, was disrespected in the NBA draft during that time he was drafted in the second round, which, by the way, he joined the company of Jokic, Dennis Smith, and also Willis Reed for second-round players to win finals MVP. And here's the icing on the cake, Scott. He joined the elite company tonight. Steph Curry, Isaiah Thomas, players under 6'2", to lead their team to an NBA championship and win finals MVP. And I've been preaching to the world when I gave him the nickname Big Body Brunson, and I was called everything but a child of God, that I said this man is different. He's special. And he showed throughout these playoffs and throughout Game 1, 13 points in the fourth quarter on the road to secure the victory.
Over and over.
Over and over. After Game 3, remember, a lot of scrutiny. He's ball hogging. The analytics say that the Knicks are better without him, better offensively with him on the bench.
Right.
And for him to pass the ball. What did he do in Game 4? Was the ultimate floor general while leading the charge offensively, while carrying the team alongside OG Anunoby. And then what was the narrative after that game? Should Jalen Brunson be the finals MVP or should it be OG Anunoby? And then tonight, on the road, on a big stage, he go out and he have 45 points time Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
45.
Listen, Jalen Brunson, now in New York, when you mention Joe Namath, when you mention Derek Jeter, you're going to mention Jalen Brunson.
He's an all-time New York hero because he got them back for the first time since '73. They had to go through an awfully talented, very young San Antonio team. Victor Wembanyama, after coming up short.
This is the biggest lesson of my life, the biggest learning moment. I can't tell exactly what the lesson is, but we're learning from that for sure. I'm learning more than any other time in my life before.
Victor, you studied the game. It took Michael 7 years. It took LeBron 9. It took Jerry West 12 years to be a champion. Not even the greatest ever. It's not immediate. How difficult is that to accept when you pour so much of yourself into this, that there is a process to get to where you want to go?
It's painful, you know. It's painful. But I'm not running away from that. I'm using that to fuel me. I'm sure all these guys you named, they're not satisfied with being eliminated in earlier rounds or not making the playoffs. And I'm not satisfied with not winning. But as I said, this is the biggest lesson of my life. And as a team, there's no better experience than what we just lived.
pretty heady perspective for a young man. This Spurs team became the first team in the history of the finals to have a double-digit lead in the first quarter of 4 games, and then they did it again tonight. At the end of this series, they led for a hell of a lot more than the Knicks did, but at the end of the series, they only won 1 game. There is a lot to learn, and San Antonio, I presume, will learn from it, I should say. What do you take about what happened tonight in this game where yet another fourth quarter and yet another close situation goes the way of the Knicks?
Well, first and foremost, let's give credit to the San Antonio Spurs.
They earned it.
They had a successful season this year. Mitch Johnson, Wemby, all of those young guys, they showed up and showed out in great fashion. But the most important thing that I love that Wemby said was that it's painful. I'm going to take this pain into the offseason.
Yeah, he said he wouldn't run from it.
And I'm glad because the great Kevin Garnett told Rajon Rondo and myself as youngsters, he said, hey, listen, the same way you two run to the television to go watch Scott Van Pelt, to go watch Sports Center when y'all have a great game, keep that same energy when things are not going well for you, and you take that to go get better. When you look at this Spurs team, the sky's the limit. When you look at a Dylan Harper, who me and you both love.
25 tonight.
But listen, he's going to make all NBA teams in the near future for years to come. Stephon Castle is going to make all defensive teams and all-star teams for the years to come. If you're the San Antonio Spurs, you build and learn from this. You use this offseason and you hear all the criticism. You listen to it. Don't run from it. Embrace it. And you go into the offseason and you say, you know what? We're going 8 different champions over the last 8 years. We know that Dylan Harper is going to be there. We know that Wemby is going to be there. We know that Stephon Castle is going to be there.
Vassell.
The Spurs can't stay the same with the entire roster. They have to go tweak some things, but make no mistake about it, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with over the years to come.
They started this postseason without having played any playoff games. This is 23, including going through the reigning champs of OKC, beating them first game and the 7th game in OKC. They climbed a mountain. They celebrated that. They said they learned that they probably celebrated too much, and they could very well have won this series. They were so close. And in the end, the pain is something that you heard Victor Wembanyama say will fuel them moving forward.